The lady, Amy, was about my height, though was closer to Catherine's build. Skinny. Maybe even petite. Today, it seemed, she'd been forced into a lavender-colored dress with a built-in onesie that didn't quite cover the leak guards of her bulky, and very likely soaked diaper. A matching headband with a ridiculously sized bow on top kept her long brown hair out of her face. Speaking of face, her cheeks were dotted with freckles and I had no way of knowing if those came naturally or were dotted in at a little salon after she was captured. What had to have been done after her capture was the removal of her front teeth. Doubly typical. Total doll. Still didn't recognize her. Her mommy didn't seem to notice. I remember when Amy first came into my life. I was at the zoo and I rescued her from a giant ostrich dash. It was an emu, Mommy, Amy chirped. I was feeding it. Rare. Of course you were, the giantess cooed down and patted the little on the head. Rare? Is that the sound that big birdies make? I felt Catherine dig her nails into my free hand. Amy giggled. Nope. But they should. Emu? Feeding? That rang a bell. It had been 4 or 5 years since I'd seen her, but things were coming into place. There had been a student named Amy in Both's class back then. Only her hair had started out bright red, the kind that you only got out of a bottle. I'd heard her story. She'd been a veterinarian in a zoo. She'd been crying in my timeout corner and then I'd given her one of my talks, just like I'd given to Ches a few days ago. I adopted her right away, poor thing, the Amazon continued, but she was so unhappy about it. Her maturosis had clearly gone into full effect, but she hadn't reached her developmental plateau, not that I knew those terms at the time. I felt numb all over. Aha. My skin felt dead, but my insides were boiling and burbling. Amy was busy sucking her on her fingers, staring at her knuckles as though they contained the secrets of the universe. My head felt like it might explode. The regular daycares wouldn't take her, she was so fussy. So I had her enrolled in Mrs. Both's class at Oaks Higher Elementary. Aha. Catherine's nails were digging in tighter as I nodded. And everything started to fall into place after that. Didn't it, Amy? Amy popped her fingers out of her mouth. Aha. I made a mental note then and there to never say aha to an Amazon ever again. I looked at Amy, looked her right in the eye, and asked in my best adult voice. And where do you go to school now, Amy? New beginnings. Amy shook her head and giggled. Nope, nope, nope. I go to daycare. Which one? She paused. I dunno.